Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So as I've been currently updating you on a regular basis, about the current transfer rumours that are currently going on in the media, more things was updated today. So reports have been coming out today, this morning, reportedly is in relation to Ander Herrera, of course, as well, because obviously so far in the process, reportedly, Manchester United have not yet come to an agreement, to get Ander Herrera a new contract to Manchester United, of course, as well. Even though Manchester United have been in negotiations of trying, get Ander Herrera to a new contract at the club, as well. And reports have been coming out today, though, saying that PSG have reportedly, expressed their interest in Ander Herrera, reportedly. And reports do currently mention that, Paris Saint-Germain have reportedly, opened up negotiations with Ander Herrera over a new £150,000 a week deal. So reports are saying that PSG are reportedly willing to offer a £150,000 a week deal for Ander Herrera, plus are willing to offer a 3-year deal as well, of course, as well as reports do currently mention. Recent reports did say that Ander Herrera is still committed to Manchester United and that he does want to stay at Manchester United, of course, as well. But if he was to leave in the summer, obviously, he would leave on a free transfer because he comes to an end of his contract in the summer, as well does Ander Herrera. Obviously, PSG, of course, as well. Obviously, they've got Adrien Rabiot. I think that's going to be leaving at the end of the season. So obviously, they've probably indicated Ander Herrera as a good replacement, for Adrien Rabiot, of course, as well, because Adrien Rabiot's been looking likely. There was reports going on about Adrien Rabiot saying it's likely he will actually, join Barcelona, this summer, of course, as well, on a free transfer, because obviously he comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season. Obviously, he's been withdrawn from the Paris Saint-Germain squad, as Adrien Rabiot, of course, as well, because obviously, he's refused to sign a new contract, and he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams in the Premier League, as well as Adrien Rabiot, and of course, he is still young, but I think he's set to leave Paris Saint-Germain at the end of the season. So reports have been coming out today that PSG are interested in Ander Herrera. I think Ander Herrera is still happy, as a Manchester United player, of course, as well, because this is fifth season now at Manchester United. We do know how much of a central player Ander Herrera is. Even though Solskjaer is still keen on adding depth in that midfield, I think he's still keen on getting an attacking midfielder to Manchester United, of course, as well. But Ander Herrera, he has had rough patches, so far during his tenure, as a Manchester United player. This is fifth season now at Manchester United, of course, as we all currently know, as well. But obviously, as we all know, he had rough patches, when Jose Mourinho was in charge, because obviously Ander Herrera, wasn't getting the game time, that he demanded, and all that. Ander Herrera, but obviously, we got him when Louis van Gaal was here, of course, as well, Ander Herrera. And obviously, since Solskjaer's coming, his performances have really improved. Ander Herrera, he's playing a big part in that midfield. He's been fitting in that midfield trio very, very well, alongside Pogba and Nemanja Matic, and all that, as Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But obviously, this is his fifth season now at Manchester United. I think overall, his gameplay has absolutely improved. He's breaking the play very, very well. He's galloping forward more. He's a good ball playing midfielder, as I currently said. So Manchester United, would actually, want to keep, Ander Herrera, of course, as well. And obviously, he's playing really, really well under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We know he's just recently, recovered from a hamstring injury, of course, as well. And considering, the string of injuries, that Manchester United have had, as we all, obviously, players are coming back from injury now. But obviously, we know the main, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice midfield mainly has been Herrera, Matic and Pogba, but obviously most recently, obviously the string of injuries we've had, especially in that midfield, it has allowed opportunities for the likes of Andres Pereira and Scott McTominay, when, to be fair, they've been very, very impressive indeed. I'm not too sure Fred's been playing, recently, but I'm not too sure about Fred if he's a long-term solution, to be quite honest with you, because he's failed to make an impact since we got him last summer, but, he hasn't really, had the game time, to be quite honest with you, as Fred, as well. So reports have been coming out today, reports this morning saying that PSG are interested. Reportedly there's been, PSG have opened up negotiations. Reportedly, PSG are willing to offer him £150,000 a week, reportedly, plus a 3-year deal, reportedly, as well. PSG, obviously, have invested quite a bit of money, as we all know. I'm not sure, are they still under financial fair play? I'm not too sure. I'll have to read more about that. But obviously, PSG, obviously, invested a lot of money on Neymar, obviously the most expensive player in world football, obviously, spent a lot of money on Mbappe, as well. But obviously, they're still, planning for the investment, of course, PSG, as well, because obviously this is Thomas Tuchel's first season, I think, with Paris Saint-Germain, as well. So reports do say that they have have showed an interest in Ander Herrera, but I think Ander Herrera wants to remain loyal to the club, and I think as ESPN does report, so that he still wants to stay at Manchester United, but the offer of what PSG have come with, PSG obviously planning to get him on a free transfer in the summer when his contract comes to an end, and obviously reportedly they're willing to offer him wages a week of around £150,000 plus a 3-year deal reportedly as well. So that's a big breaking news. I want to update you on that. But as I did say, players are expected to leave Manchester United this summer, of course, as well as I've already currently updated you on. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is obviously in discussions, he's been in, regular discussions, with Ed Woodward, about our transfer plans for this summer as well, obviously, because obviously it's still looking like that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, will get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. It's not fully announced as yet, but I think he'll get the job on a full-time basis, of course, as well. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is obviously already making plans for the summer. He's been discussing, with Ed Woodward and all that, what players, should come in, what players, should go in the summer as well. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually told Manchester United, to sell 3 players, of course, as well as he has already made it clear. And Solskjaer has basically said to Manchester United he wants to sell 3 players, and he's basically said to Ed Woodward, to get rid of, Valencia, Rojo, and Sanchez, and they're the 3 players, Solskjaer wants out of Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But we could see actually more than 3 players, leave in the summer, to be quite honest. And as I did say, it would be ideal for us, to get some young players, that could grow, develop, and mould under Solskjaer. Of course, we're going to get around £200 million to spend this summer, of course, as well. And I've already identified, but the areas where we do need to strengthen up. Of course, I think Solskjaer wants around 4 signings this summer, as he did actually tell the Manchester United board, of course, as well. But yeah, players are going to definitely leave in the summer, as we all currently know. Players are going to definitely leave in the summer. As I've already updated you on Antonio Valencia. He's definitely on his way out of Manchester United. Obviously, we opted against that decision, to give him that new 1-year extension, of course, as well. And obviously, he's been here since 2009, and this is his 10th season at Manchester United, of course. He has made over 300 appearances in all competitions, but he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer, as well as Valencia. Rojo's on his way out of Manchester United as well. Again, enjoyed a difficult time as a Manchester United player. Struggled to get in the team, considering, the string of injuries he's had there, Marcus Rojo. So I think he's going to be on his way out in the summer as well. And obviously, we know that Alexis Sanchez is going to be definitely leaving Manchester United, as we all know, Alexis Sanchez, because he struggled with consistency as a Manchester United player. He's been here just over a year, of course, as well, and he's had a string of injuries as well. Alexis Sanchez is currently out now. He's currently out now with a knee injury as Alexis Sanchez, of course. But when he has been given the opportunity, it just looks so restricted. It just looks to me, that he hasn't been getting the freedom, Alexis Sanchez, of course, as well. So he's definitely on his way out of Manchester United, of course. And he's age 30 now, and he has lost that yard of pace, but he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal, to be quite honest with you, as well. And he just hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system, to be quite honest with you, as Alexis Sanchez. And we do know it's going to be hard to offload him in the summer permanently, because obviously, considering his substantial wages he's currently receiving, which is over £500,000 a week, it's going to be hard to officially offload him, of course, as well. Manchester United may consider sanctioning him out on loan, or may come to an agreement of Sanchez taking a wage cut or something like this as well. But I think Solskjaer's lost faith in him, and he's actually lost trust with him as well. But Solskjaer tells Manchester United, he tells Manchester United to sell 3 players, and they are the 3 players Solskjaer wants out: Valencia, Rojo, and Sanchez. Even I think Darmian's going to be going in the summer as well. Matteo Darmian will leave Manchester United this summer, I should presume. Again, enjoyed a very difficult time as a Manchester United player. Obviously spent the most of his career, when he was younger, in Italy, of course, as well, because obviously Manchester United, paid like £12 million for him from Torino, and he's really struggled, to adapt himself. He struggled with consistency, as Matteo Darmian. We know he hasn't been hardly first choice anywhere, so I think he's going to be on his way out of the club in the summer as well. So as I did say, we do expect departures, of course, as well. But Manchester United have got to bring the right players in the summer, if we are going to be potentially title contenders for the new season as well, as we all currently know. So, we need to get the right players in, of course, if we are going to be potentially, title contenders for the new season. And, of course, it's essential that we do, get Champions League for next season, so we can have a more competitive summer transfer window as well. And obviously, that's very essential indeed. But I do think Solskjaer will get the job permanently. I think reports are coming out saying this should be the Manchester United want it to be announced, before the end of the month. Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United manager permanently, and if he does get the job permanently, I think he's planning, to have a long tenure as Manchester United manager. I think he's thinking ahead of the next 5 or 10 years, or something like that. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's never really suffered a long tenure. He's never actually, experienced a long tenure as manager so far. He had 2 separate spells and all. They did win 2 Norwegian titles. He only had a short tenure with Cardiff as well, managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years as well. But he hasn't really had a long tenure. I know he had a great long tenure as a player, for 11 years at Manchester United, under Alex Ferguson and all that. Scored a lot of goals, won a lot of trophies and all that. Did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well. But for me, he's the right man for Manchester United. Of course, we'll only have to pay a compensation package of around £7-8 million, to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the job on a full-time basis. I know the club are still possibly looking at, Mauricio Pochettino and all that, and Ed Woodward, still may want Pochettino to come to Manchester United, of course, as well. But Pochettino, we'd have to pay a compensation of around £35-40 million to bring Mauricio Pochettino to Manchester United as well. And obviously, Solskjaer hasn't got a great managerial pedigree, as we all know, so far in terms of winning silverware and all that. Pochettino hasn't got a great pedigree in terms of winning any silverware, because he hasn't won any silverware as manager yet. So Pochettino hasn't proven himself in that aspect as well, as well. But he has done a really, really good job with Tottenham. This is his 5th season now with Tottenham. He's done a really, really good job, and he's good at growing and developing young players. Is Mauricio Pochettino. But the difference is Solskjaer knows Manchester United inside out. Pochettino doesn't know anything about Manchester United. He doesn't know the club inside out. So I think Solskjaer is the right option, to be quite honest with you. We've obviously paid 1.8 million at the moment anyway, to get him on a temporary basis, of course, as well. But as I did say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's going to have his say. He's been discussing about the club's summer transfer plans as well. And he's identified, quite a few targets, Solskjaer, as I've already discussed with you, that he would be interested in bringing in them as well. And obviously he's discussing about, what players should leave as well, as I've already updated you on. Obviously we're still looking to hire a director of football, to come in to Manchester United as well. So what Solskjaer's basically said, he's told Manchester United to sell 3 players, of course. He's told Ed Woodward to get rid of Valencia, Rojo and Sanchez, as we all know as well. But so the early news I was updating you guys on as well, I want to give you an update on as well, was obviously, in relation to Harry Maguire, because reports have been coming out the media today that reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has reportedly told Ed Woodward to go all out, to sign Harry Maguire for around £65 million. So reportedly Solskjaer has urged the board, to sign Harry Maguire this summer from Leicester City, of course. And I think he's willing, to leave Leicester, he's Harry Maguire, to be quite honest, because I think he wants to go to a team that is capable of, winning trophies and, obviously, up there challenging for trophies as well. And I think he wants to play to the highest level, does Harry Maguire. And obviously, he's not going to do this or experience this, at Leicester, to be quite honest with you as well. I think he's been at Leicester, a couple of seasons, now, Harry Maguire, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, we definitely need the centre-back, we need a world-class centre-back. And we need a world-class centre-back, because we haven't had one since the Vidic days, the Ferdinand days. And we definitely, do need a world-class centre-back, without a shadow of a doubt. Harry Maguire as well, he's Premier League proven, of course, as well. And I think I've been impressed with his performances. I've been impressed with his performances this season for Leicester City, without a shadow of a doubt. And obviously, Manchester United, were linked with him last summer, of course, as well. But Leicester were reluctant, to sanction him off last summer as well. And actually, Mourinho wanted to get Harry Maguire last summer. And there was quite a few players Mourinho wanted to get him, but he didn't get them players. He wanted Mourinho. The board weren't backing, some of the signings he wanted to get in as well. But reportedly now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Manchester United to go for Harry Maguire this summer, of course, as well. Obviously, Manchester United, we've got the financial power and all that, to currently double his wages as well. So I think we can offer him in the excess of around £140,000 a week or something like that. I think he only signed a new deal with Leicester last season as well, so he is under contract till 2023 with Leicester as well. I think Harry Maguire's, 25 or is he 26 years of age? I can't remember. I think he's 25, 26, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you as well. Obviously, I think, when he was back at Hull City, I think, Manchester United, were actually, interested in Harry Maguire, if I'm right, as well. But he did serve a couple of years with Hull City. He actually began his career with Sheffield United as well. That's where he'd progressing up the ranks, Harry Maguire, as well. And obviously, he's English, as well. And do you think he'd be a good leader in our back line? Do you think he'd look good alongside Victor Lindelof? Because as I did say, Victor Lindelof this season, his performances have really, really improved, to be quite honest. Showing that determination, can play out from the back and that he can gallop forward and all that, Victor Lindelof. And I've been impressed with his progression this season as well. But we need someone that can go alongside Lindelof in that central defensive area, of course, as well. And we do know there's other options, there's obviously better options, that are better than Harry Maguire, to be quite honest with you. But financially, Leicester would make a decent profit on the play, because Leicester, I think, paid around £17 million for him, was it, from Hull City, or something like that. But I think it'll cost Man United around £65 million to get Harry Maguire, of course, as well. But obviously, he's probably a player that wants to be, challenging for silverware, maybe winning silverware, playing in Champions League football, and all this. And obviously, he's not going to do this with Leicester City, so he may want a new challenger, Harry Maguire. But I think Solskjaer wants Manchester United, to go for Harry Maguire this summer, of course, as well. And other targets, we know that Manchester United, of course, have been interested in as well. And we do know reports have been coming out in relation, to Costas Manolas, should I say, as well. And reports have been coming out saying that Manchester United and Arsenal have reportedly, been interested in Costas Manolas, reportedly, as well. And reports have been coming out from Italy, actually suggesting out that Manchester United or Arsenal could sign Costas Manolas this summer for a cut price fee if Roma failed to get the top four, and obviously if they failed to get into the Champions League for next season, reportedly he will be allowed to leave this summer, Costas Manolas, if Roma don't get Champions League for next season, of course, as well. Obviously his release clause is around £31 million. Is Costas Manolas. He is he's 27 years of age, should I say. He is Greek, of course, as well. I don't think he's a world-class central defender. Obviously, he's not a big club. He's not a massive club, is he? Let's be honest. It's Costas Manolas. But Man United have actually been long admirers of the player, because they heard rumours about it last year that Man U were interested in him. I think Arsenal have also, been long admirers of the player as well, because obviously Arsenal are looking to address their defensive deficiencies as well. Costas Manolas has still got a contract with Roma, actually, until 2022, I think, as well. And he has been at Roma a number of years now. I think this is his 5th season now, is it, with Roma, or something like that. I think he's made about 200 odd appearances in all competitions, or is it 200 appearances in all competitions? And obviously, he's an ex-Olympiacos player, he's an ex-Athens player as well, he's Costas Manolas as well. He's tall as well, which is very, very beneficial indeed. But I think Roma want to try and remove his release clause, so in terms of, likes of, finances and stuff, so they can invest a bit more money on Costas Manolas as well. So there has been talks about that going on in the last couple of days as well. And obviously, we know that reports have been coming out in relation to Raphael Varane as well. And you know what? I do really, really like Raphael Varane, to be quite honest with you, as well. So reports have just been coming out like that. So reports have just been coming out from France. Reports from France have suggested out that reportedly he is considering his future. He's considering his future. With Real Madrid. Reportedly, is Raphael Varane. Reports have just come out saying that reportedly Raphael Varane has told his current teammates that he does want to leave Real Madrid this summer. Reportedly as well. We do know he's been a potential target for Manchester United as Raphael Varane, of course, as well. I don't think Zinedine Zidane, would want to lose Raphael Varane, to be quite honest, because obviously he's remained loyal to Real Madrid. He's been at Real Madrid a number of years now, as we all know. He has been at Real Madrid, since 2011. This is his 8th season now, or something like that, with Real Madrid. Still only 25 years of age as well, Raphael Varane, I think. He's got a lot of years ahead of him. And look what he's achieved as a player, and he's only 25 years of age. I think he's won about 15 or 16 major honours, with Real Madrid, as Raphael Varane, of course. I think he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions, and he is an absolutely world-class central defender, is Raphael Varane, and I think he'd be fantastic to come to Manchester United. Him alongside Lindelof, would look absolutely fantastic indeed, to be quite honest with you. He'd look fantastic indeed, him alongside Lindelof, because he reads the game very, very well. He's very, very good in the air, is Raphael Varane, and just every area of his game he adapts just absolutely fantastically well indeed. But he has spent the majority of his career in Spain with Real Madrid. He's been there since 2011. He actually began his career with Lens, Rennes in France as well, you know, where he actually, you know, risen up the youth system, you know, where did Raphael Varane as well. He is under contract with Real Madrid till 2022. As I did forget to mention before, we do know that he's got a huge release clause in his current deal, and I think this is around £431 million or something like that as well. But I don't think Real Madrid want to lose him. But I think Raphael Varane, from his own perspective, reportedly has said he wants to leave Real Madrid this summer, because the reports have been coming out from France saying that he has been considering it and all this as well. But he hasn't been a main priority for Manchester United, but I do really like Raphael Varane, and he definitely addressed our defensive deficiencies absolutely 100%. So he would be very good indeed, would Raphael Varane. So yeah, obviously, you know, they've got now Zinedine Zidane, you know, reappointed as manager. Zinedine Zidane himself, you know, is obviously planning, you know, to make investment this summer, you know, at Real Madrid. Obviously, this is his second spell in charge, you know, the only manager, you know, to win back-to-back Champions League titles, of course, as well. But I think the glory days will now return at Real Madrid, because obviously now Zinedine Zidane, you know, is back in charge. Of course, as well. I think Florentino Perez is giving him around £300 million spending spree to spend this summer with Real Madrid as well. But yeah, I don't think Zinedine Zidane, you know, would want, you know, Raphael Varane, you know, to leave Real Madrid as well. So reports do say he wants to leave this summer as well. Another potential targets, as we all know, you know, that have been mentioned in the press as well. Obviously, I think our number one is obviously, you know, Jadon Sancho, you know, for the summer, of course, as well. Manchester United. I've been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, and I think he complement our attacking line, you know, very well. You know, to be quite honest with you, you know, with Jadon Sancho, and I do really like Jadon Sancho. I think he's a really good player, very young. You know, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him, of course, as well. He's only 18 years of age, and there's been a narrative going on about it for at least a month now that Manchester United have expressed an interest in him, of course, as well. I think he's attracted interest, you know, from quite a few teams across Europe, as Jadon Sancho as well. Reports have been coming out saying that Manchester United, you know, we believe that we can land him for around £80 million. I think Borussia Dortmund, you know, demanding that they want around £100 million. But if we were to come to an agreement to get him in the summer, obviously, you know, we could make him the most expensive English footballer ever, and obviously, you know, make him our most expensive signing as well in the process. And obviously, £100 million is a lot of money to anybody, but as I said, especially, you know, for a young 18-year-old, still upcoming really, if you think about it, even though, you know, he has got into the first team with Dortmund, and since he's broken into the first team, you know, his performances have been fantastic. Indeed, he's got immense talent. Only broke into the England first team last year, still under contract with Dortmund till 2022, and all that as well. But I think Solskjaer's keen on bringing him in the summer, because Solskjaer is focusing on more attacking additions to the squad as well. I don't think he's too bothered, you know, defensively at the moment. I think he's focusing more attackingly to the squad as well, and he's mainly in winners, Jadon Sancho, as we all know as well. But you know, he did have a couple of years there with Borussia. He's now, you know, at Borussia Dortmund. I think he's been at Borussia Dortmund now a couple of years, you know, to be quite honest with you. You know, he served a couple of seasons with Manchester City, and at that moment in time, you know, Manchester United, were actually linked with him then, of course, as well. But he never actually got into the first team with Manchester City, did Jadon Sancho, and this is the main reason he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course, as well. But I do really like him. But Manchester United, of course, are heavily linked to him, of course, as well. But Borussia Dortmund, from their perspective, don't even want to lose him. But if Manchester United were to say there's £100 million for Jadon Sancho in the summer, you know, that would be tempting. Indeed, considering that Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Manchester City, of course, as well. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Jadon Sancho, as I currently said. And of course, you know, Joe Felix, you know, he's been another potential Manchester United target as well, you know, as this Joe Felix, you know, that Benfica youngster. I've been updating you on a regular basis as well. And reports have been coming out saying that Liverpool, you know, being interested in him. You know, Manchester United have also, you know, been interested in Joe Felix as well. I think Chelsea have also expressed an interest in, because there was a narrative going on about it back in the January transfer when, you know, that a few teams were interested in Joe Felix, you know, from Benfica. Only 19 years of age. He only broke into the Benfica first team last year, but reportedly since he's broken into the first team, you know, reportedly his performances have been very good indeed of Joe Felix. He's mainly a winner, but I think he can but I think he can play in other positions as well. So he actually is versatile. Is Joe Felix as well. But again, probably would cost staggering amounts of money. I think his buyout clause is around 100 or 105 million pounds or something like that as well. But Manchester United have instructed scouts, Man United scouts to watch him. Man United scouts have been watching him closely because reportedly his performances have been very, very impressive indeed. And Manchester United have opened up negotiations with with Benfica and that over this as well. So he's been a potential target for Manchester United. We've actually showed an interest in him as well. And we do know that the rumours, do continue to persist about Gareth Bale as well. And as I do keep saying, guys, I don't want Manchester United, to sign Gareth Bale this summer, as I currently said. If you'd have asked me 2 or 3 years ago if I wanted Bale at Manchester United, I would have said yeah, because obviously he was a bit younger then, as we all currently know. And he's not at that higher level anymore. He's not at that high level anymore, Gareth Bale, as he used to be, of course. And obviously we know the rumours have been going on for a number of years, Bale being linked to a move to Manchester United. But in the process, of course, it's never ever succeeded, of course, as well. But I wouldn't want him at Manchester United now, of course, even though he's still got a really, really good ratio, Gareth Bale. Obviously, he's obviously Premier League proven, from when he was younger, when he had 6 great years with Tottenham as well, Gareth Bale. And yes, I wouldn't want him at Manchester United now, Gareth Bale, because he's nearly 30 years of age. Even though he's still got a good ratio, he's won a lot at Real Madrid as well. This is his 6th season now at Real Madrid. I just wouldn't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United, now, to be quite honest, because obviously, as I did say, he's nearly 30. He's obviously injury prone as well, he's obviously, got a record of injuries as well, as Gareth Bale. I think his wages he's on is around £650,000 a week, is it, or something like that, Gareth Bale. I think he's actually the highest paid player in world football. But I think Real Madrid, do want him out this summer. Real Madrid want to sell Gareth Bale this summer because I think Florentino Perez has lost, patience with him, and obviously, now Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed Real Madrid manager. It's likely the odds are more likely now that he will leave this summer because obviously Zinedine Zidane doesn't have a good relationship with Gareth Bale, as we all know, as well. And he's still under contract on Madrid till 2022, as we all know as well, is Gareth Bale. But I think he's definitely I think he's leaving this summer, is Gareth Bale. And obviously, I don't think, that they'll recruit the initial 86 million pounds, they did pay for him from Tottenham back in 2013. Back in 2013, I don't think they recouped the initial 86 million pounds. They did pay for him back in 2013, of course. Well, but Real Madrid could still maybe get 55, maybe 60 million pounds for him, or something like that as well. Something like that as well. So I don't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United this summer, of course. Well, so that's mainly, again, the news that's going on in the media. But the main part of this video I wanted to update you on is in relation to Ander Herrera. Reports have been coming out today that reportedly PSG have expressed an interest in Ander Herrera. Reports have been saying that there has been negotiations. PSG have made, opened up negotiations with Ander Herrera and all this. And reportedly, it says PSG are reportedly willing... PSG are reportedly willing to offer £150,000 a week wages and willing to offer him around a 3-year deal or something like that. And this would be tempting for Ander Herrera. But the recent reports I've just read out, reportedly, it's just basically said in the media that reportedly he wants to stay at Manchester United. So he actually, wants to remain loyal at Manchester United, does Ander Herrera, of course. We know throughout his tenure so far as a Manchester United player, he has had rough patches. He has struggled, to get in the team and all that. But now, since Solskjaer's come in, we're getting the best out of the whole team, and we're getting the best out of Ander Herrera and Solskjaer, and Ander Herrera's getting the best out of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. So I think he's happy at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you as well. And we know the other day about rumours as well in relation to Paul Pogba. I'll give you an update on Paul Pogba as well, talking about, he dreamed, playing for Real Madrid and playing under Zinedine Zidane and all this as well. But Paul Pogba did still insist that he's happy at Manchester United, of course, as well, because obviously, guys, as we all know, there was strong speculation of obviously, Pogba, of course, leaving, and obviously, Jose Mourinho was in charge and all that. As I did say, if Mourinho would have still been in charge now of Manchester United, of course, now Pogba would have definitely left Manchester United, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed, because obviously he's been previously linked to Barcelona. There was a lot of talks about him, going back to Juventus as well. because obviously, he did have 4 great years with Juventus, did Paul Pogba as well. But as I did currently say, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's come in, Pogba's been playing really well. He's mainly been getting that freedom, to express himself, and I think he looks very, very good in that number 10. He provides good service to the front man. He plays them delicate passes, he's been scoring goals, he's been providing, and he's been absolutely fantastic indeed. But reports did say, that, he classed Real Madrid as a dream club, did Paul Pogba, but he said he's happy at Manchester United, and this is what he basically said. But I think Zinedine Zidane, would be keen on making a summer move for Paul Pogba, as he reportedly told Real Madrid, to try and open up negotiations with Paul Pogba's agent, which is obviously, Raiola as well. But I think for this time being, Pogba is happy at Manchester United. His current contract, still ends in 2021, and hopefully somewhere along the line, Manchester United in the process, can start opening up negotiations of getting Paul Pogba a new contract at the club as well. So we do know reports coming out about that. Was it yesterday or the day before or something like that as well. So the main part of this video is I wanted to give you an update on what's been said on Ander Herrera today, this morning as well. This is what I just wanted to give you an update on. But for me, I think Ander Herrera will remain loyal to Manchester United. I think he's now happy at Manchester United that Solskjaer's here. He's getting more in the team. He's fitting in that midfield well. And we know he's just obviously recovered from a hamstring injury just recently, but he'll get his form back again, where we'll Ander Herrera, of course. Well, I do really, really highly rate Ander Herrera, to be quite honest with you. But I don't think he'll go to PSG, even though PSG have reportedly offered him 150,000 a week, plus a 3-year deal as well. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting Ander Herrera a new contract at the club as well, because Manchester United have been in talks of getting Ander Herrera a new contract at the club as well. And there was currently saying, Solskjaer's done a really, really good job, as I do keep saying. We didn't spend in the January window. We've had a lot of injuries. I know we've invested a lot of money, since Alex Ferguson retired and all that as well. And obviously, since Ferguson retired, we've had different managers, with different philosophies and all this. But we have spent a lot of money, since Alex Ferguson retired. We must have spent about, is it 700 or 800 or 900 million pounds or something like that. And we've seen players come in, and we've seen players go. But since Solskjaer's come in, we haven't bought anyone in January, so Solskjaer obviously is still in the process of rebuilding this team, and obviously buying into our history of course as well. We have got a good team, but we know that definitely investment is needed in the summer without a shadow of a doubt indeed, because obviously we know that other teams are going to invest in their squads in the summer as well. And I definitely think Solskjaer's the right man for Manchester United, as I do keep saying. If we don't win if we go winless in 2 or 3 games after the international break, then questions definitely will be asked. And as I do keep saying, this now what I'm saying to you, it will be a total different conversation. Everything will be a total different conversation. And then I think we'll look more deeply into getting Pochettino in, of course, as well. But I think we'll be all right. We've suffered back-to-back defeats, before the international break. But I think we'll be all right after the international break. To be quite honest, because some teams go through rough patches sometimes. Go through rough patches sometimes and all that as well. But as I was saying, yeah, so basically, let me just go get something. I see it, mate, something where that. So basically, yeah, so I've updated you today so far on what's, being said about Harry Maguire. Solskjaer has basically urged Manchester United, he's urged the board, and he's actually told Ed Woodward, to go out and all, to go all out, to sign Harry Maguire this summer for around £65 million. And also Solskjaer's basically said to Ed Woodward, the 3 players he wants sold this summer. So Solskjaer told Manchester United he wants 3 players sold this summer, as well as reports do currently mention. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing to my channel as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you guys